If I was to try and tell you that I am the most hardcore bodybuilder and entrepreneur there is, I'd be fucking lying to your face. There are times when I want to give up on this shit. All honesty, and today, one of those fucking days, just, hard training sessions back to back, feeling very under recovered, just got that general CNS brain fog. And I have just been working nonstop today. And I love what I do. I genuinely do. But there are some days where it's just like, I don't want to have anyone depending on me. I want to take care of me. And, that's not always an option when, you have a full client roster. There's people who need you and need your expertise around the clock. I had client calls today. I had calls with my mentors to better help my clients. And, right now I am so fucking tired. And I still have 40 minutes of cardio to do today, a meal to eat. I have content to make. And, I sound like a little bitch because, all my work's from my computer in my house. But, sometimes I miss having a day off. Sometimes I miss, knowing, I got 3 12s in a row and they're going to suck and all those days are going to suck. But afterwards, I get fucking 2 days off work where only thing I have to do is be a lazy fuck. Hit the gym a couple times and take care of myself. And, as an entrepreneur and a bodybuilder, I see a lot of similarities between the two. The main one being, it's an endeavor that you chose to partake in, that I chose to partake in, that no one's forcing us to do. I could have sat at my job as a corrections officer, which paid pretty decent, required, no college, was a stable gig, good benefits. I could have sat there till I retired and gotten a pension after 25 years. No one forced me to quit. Just like no one forced me to be a bodybuilder. I don't have some sad backstory about my physique. I wasn't a fat kid. I wasn't ridiculously skinny to the point where I got bullied, I don't do this for women at the end of the day, but I had no problem getting laid. There's no driving force of a physique that I can never go back to. Although, now that I look like this, I don't think I really want to not look like this. But, I don't have some compelling reason like a lot of coaches have or a lot of my clients have or, a lot of people in the bodybuilding space in general have. I was exceedingly average in most areas of my life. Not bad, not good, but, just very average. And I was okay with it for a while, I didn't really have a desire to do anything else. And then one day, for both my bodybuilding and my business, I just got this fucking spark in me. Or it was less of a spark, it was more of this feeling of fucking dread. And I know that anyone who owns a fucking business or does bodybuilding can relate to this. That a lot of the time it's not like you have this giant surge of motivation that makes you do it. It's one day you wake up and you're like, this is my life and it doesn't suck, but I'm not happy with it. And I don't know if I can live like this for another 20 years. And, nothing wrong with, working a normal job, having and being decently fit, but some guys just get this fucking bug in them where they're like, fuck, I normal is not for me. I need extreme. And that's the way I was, when I got into the gym, it wasn't I want to get fit and then, okay, well now I want to put on a little muscle and, maybe I want a little more muscle. It was I went from drinking and eating fast food every day to tracking everything I ate, doing nothing but going to the gym, stopping all social events. I went to enhancements after like a year. It was fast. It was just like, this is me now. I don't want anything else. I am going to put everything I have into this. And it was the same way when I started my business. And if there's any other business owners watching this, you can probably relate to that. Like, there was no, I need to save up money for expenses and slowly quit my job and give my 2 weeks. It was like, dude, I just walked in my sergeant's office, and I'll be honest, I was like almost on the verge of tears. I was just like, I can't do this anymore. Like, a week from now is my last day, because I had some responsibilities going on that I didn't want to completely fuck, I didn't care about getting rehired, but, there was people I liked there that I didn't want to screw over. Otherwise, I would have just fucking walked out. And it was just like that. And I fucking hired a business mentor. I was like, this is me now. This is what I'm doing. And I need to be extreme about it. And that's, I don't know, it's just kind of how I function. That's how a lot of my clients function. That's, how a lot of successful people function. It's like, there's no thinking about it. There's no middle ground. It's just like, yep, send me the invoice. I'm doing this. Let's get to fucking work. And, at the end of the day, no one forced me to do any of this. It was my own desire for something more. And, sometimes you realize, maybe I bit off a little more than I can chew. I'm looking at my client roster. I'm like, fuck, can I handle this? With everything else I got going on, trying to be a good bodybuilder, trying to do this, trying to do that. Like, can I handle this? And, when I look at my bodybuilding and what my coach expects of me, like, I got my training days bumped up. I have, I get something added to my fucking routine every day, whether it's mobility work or, it's just something I gotta fucking do. I'm like, fuck, can I do all this with a business? And there are a lot of days when I just want to give up. And, I've been having a good amount of those recently. More so towards business than bodybuilding. I've been very much enjoying my bodybuilding lately, because I've been looking great. And it's not like I haven't been seeing the results in business either. My bank account looks better than it's ever looked. But there are just some days where you question yourself and you're like, fuck, am I really built for this? And the truth is, you may or you may not be. But if you're this far in the video, I guarantee you relate to everything I said already. So I'm just going to assume you're like me. You may be built for it. You may not be built for it. You may have the potential to be the best. You may not. But you're not going to be the guy that fucking gave up. I could never, ever, ever give up on this. That would mean admitting defeat to every person that's ever commented a hate comment on my coaching business or my physique. That would be admitting defeat to the sergeant that said I was a fucking idiot for quitting my job and that I'd be running back in a month. That would be disappointing my fucking parents after I, spent 10 years being an absolute degenerate and finally turned my fucking life around. And I refuse to fucking admit defeat. It's just not something that I'm capable of. Sure, there's things that I've maybe not done because I wasn't sure if I could do them, but once I set out to do something, there's no turning back, And that's just the way I operate in life, I pay my coach 3 months at a time because I know that I'm not fucking quitting, I pay business mentors and coaching mentors without even a fucking sales call, and pay in full because I know I have to give myself no fucking option, And that's one of the reasons that, I fucking pay for accountability too, After I finish recording this, I'm going to go rip the fucking cardio I need to rip. And you know what? I'll admit it. Today, I am not ripping it for myself. I am not doing that cardio because I know it will make me better. And that might make me a bad bodybuilder. I am going to rip that cardio because I cannot fathom having to report to my coach, who I respect and look up to like highly. I cannot fathom admitting to him that I gave up on something that I could have done because I was tired and beat up. And honestly, I feel depressed as shit today. I got in a fight with my fiance. It has not been a good fucking day. And you know what? All I want to do, sit my ass on the couch, play some video games, or watch some anime, and just like fucking dissociate, you know? I got a bunch of client messages and form videos and things I need to review that I don't want to. I do not fucking want to today. But you know what? I have to. Why? You know, obviously, I do want to make sure my clients progress, but I can't admit defeat to my clients either. Why? Because I know damn well if they said they skipped their cardio or skipped a meal because they were tired, I'd be on their ass. So what right do I have to not sit down when I'm dead fucking tired and just want to zone out, to not look over their form videos and give them the best critiques possible and answer all their messages and questions and onboard my new clients? I just finished onboarding a new guy. What right do I have? Because I need to lead from the fucking front. There's no giving up on what you set out to do. If your brain works anything like mine, admitting defeat is the worst thing possible. And I just want to leave you guys with a quote today. When you're not in the room, how do you want people to talk about you? Because people are going to talk. Unless you have no social media, no friends, no family, and are a complete shut-in, I guarantee someone has talked about you this week. And people, especially miserable people, love to prey on your downfall. They love to hate. If you have started a fucking business, I guarantee half your family has talked shit about you, calling you stupid, saying you should have never quit your job. If you started bodybuilding, especially if you started posting about it on social media, especially if you don't look the part yet, I guarantee there is someone out there sending your stories to their friend going, oh, look at this idiot posting his meal prep, whatever. So when you're not in the room, do you want people to get the satisfaction of being able to talk shit about the fact that you gave up on what you set out to do? Or do you want to be the person that they pull up your stories, they pull up your Facebook, whatever, and go, damn, this motherfucker really turned it around. Shit, maybe I should have listened to him when he asked if I wanted a part in his business. Maybe I should have, taken his lifting advice, because fuck, he looks the part now. I want people to feel bad about themselves when they see what I've done and what they haven't done. And I don't mean that from a place of malice. I mean that I want to be remembered in such a way that it makes other people question what they've been doing with their whole fucking life. Anyways, guys, that's my schizo rant for today. Hope you get something out of it.